Hello and welcome back to another Mady No Filter. I almost forgot the name of this podcast. But I hope everyone is doing well. I am really excited to be here. I'm in a very grounded energy today for the topic I'm going to deliver. So let's get on into it. It was really on my heart to talk about how to stop the cycle in your love life where you feel like you're not getting what you feel like you deserve with a specific person or just in relationships, like you're attracting all the same types of people, the same situations, stuck on loop in these cycles of not feeling chosen or just not really receiving what it is you feel you deserve and desire. There's a lot of factors that play into this, and I know I've made an episode a bit similar to this, but I want to dive deeper because, as a reader, I work with a lot of clients that do come to me about their love lives and their specific person, and I also help with manifestation and things like that and self-concept. And so this is a big topic for me. It's something I'm talking to people about on the daily, and I see a lot of similarities in the collectives that I read for. And something that comes up a lot is these cycles of being with people or being attracted to people or wanting someone that is not giving you the attention you deserve. And a lot of that really does start with ourselves. And so I'm going to deliver this in a grounded way at the beginning, and then it's going to be more passionate probably towards the end because this is something I feel really passionate about. Here's the thing, you're worth so much more than a breadcrumb. And I know that that's going to hit kind of hard for a lot of people that watch me or tune into my readings. It's never been about the person. Because here's the thing, you could choose someone completely different and then end up in the same cycle because it all starts with you, and it all starts with what you're allowing and what you're showing up in. Because the way you show up actually does matter, and it does dictate how others treat you. You set that precedent. It starts with you. So, you know, I've been someone who has dealt with this in the past where it wasn't just one person. It would happen with every guy that I attracted in. It was the same story. It was the same story over and over again, just a different person of the same circumstances playing out because I was not doing the inner work. I was missing the whole entire point. And for me, that was my path. That was my journey to get to where I am now and solid in who I am now. And that was part of my process, and I'm grateful for it. But I want to talk about how to shorten that time period because if I can say something that's going to help someone else avoid some of the things that I had to learn the hard way, I would much rather do that. And Boo agrees. Boo is getting riled up. She's scratching her scratching post. But that's what I mean. It's not ever been about the specific person. Like, you could literally just be like, F this person, I'm going to choose someone else. And you could repeat the exact same storyline, which is someone else, because it's the way you're showing up. It's so easy for us to put it on the other person and say that they're this idiot who just can't choose me and whatever. I'm never talking about toxicity. I'm never talking about like narcissism. I've dated narcissists. I've dealt with a lot of narcissists in my life. That is not what I'm talking about. That is a completely different topic. I'm talking about, people with good intentions. You're just attracting and ghosting and just negative circumstances, right? It's we're not going to get into like the toxicity because I'm never going to advocate for toxicity ever. You don't deserve that. But here's the thing. You're not manifesting a whole new version of this person. You're manifesting a whole new version of yourself. You're becoming the version of yourself that doesn't put up with the fucking treatment of being left on red and breadcrumbed and people only hitting you up when they need something from you or when they're only wanting physical things from you, intimacy or they're just wanting to hook up. You don't entertain that anymore. You have to stop entertaining that. You have to stop settling for the breadcrumb. And a lot of people get tripped up on this because then they're like, well, what if this person just gets over me? Well, first of all, they were never meant to be with you to begin with because they are an idiot if they leave. Second of all, honestly, 9 times out of 10 has the opposite effect. When you pull your energy back from a situation that isn't giving you what you feel you deserve, which is attention and prioritization and equal effort and that kind of stuff. When you pull your energy back and you don't entertain that energy from someone, it shifts it all because they're going to come chasing you because you're not allowing it. You can't allow it. You're teaching people how to treat you. So it's okay. If you didn't know until now that you've been putting up with it, okay, well, you can shift now because you have the present moment. I don't know where we got into the energy as a society, as a generation. I'm 27, turning 28 this year. I know I'm still young, but I've learned a lot in my 20s about dating in my generation, and it is wild out there. You get into the mindset of like reading into someone not texting you back immediately, or, taking the tone out of context of how someone's texting you, or a lot of assumption, a lot of reading into things, a lot of lack of communication, a lot of people not knowing how to communicate their needs. It's really rough out there. And this generation, when did we get to settling for a text message, settling for someone to just look your way, to like your picture, to view your story? Why are we settling for breadcrumbs? When did someone showing up with flowers and planning a date, or actually like showing you that they matter, the effort, the energy, when did we start settling for less than that? The basic treatment. Like, I'm a woman who is into men, so that's just my experience. And so for me, you know why is it that a guy holding the door open for you is a big deal? If that becomes a thing where someone holding the door open for you is a big deal because you haven't experienced that a lot, or someone buying you flowers, or someone like planning a date and like making a reservation at a restaurant, if that is like a big deal, there is an issue. You should always be treated that way. It should always be natural. That should be natural. That should be an expectation. And it doesn't mean that you have these outlandish expectations, but you're not going to allow lower treatment. It starts with you. It starts with what you're willing to put up with. Because if you like want a husband, or you want a wife, or you want to like be in like that type of relationship, you're not going to be settling for the person that just hooks up on a Saturday night every once in a while with you. That's not your husband. And maybe they could be in the future when you stop settling for that energy, but you just cannot be doing that. Like, it's just not. And this is my perspective. And I'm being real because I went through so much in my 20s, in my early 20s, like seeking validation and like needing these men to be something that they were never going to be, because I also wasn't the person I needed to be for me to attract in the right men. I can't hate on the men I was attracting or the men that I dated in the past, because that was what I was attracting because of the state of mind I was in. But I was in a loop of wondering, why am I not receiving what I want? Why is this happening? I don't understand. And really, it was me. I was settling, I was chasing, I wasn't in my power. I wasn't sitting strong in my boundaries. I would get excited over like literally the most minimal attention ever. It was sad. And now it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm not going to settle for breadcrumbs. I don't settle for breadcrumbs. I sit in my power. I don't need someone to validate me. My worth isn't based off of another individual. I don't base my worth off of someone else. My worth starts from how I feel about myself, not about anyone else. That is the point you have to get to. That is the point where everything changes. Self concept is key. Until you change yourself and the way you feel about yourself and the way that you feel and deserve to be treated and the way you treat yourself, until that changes, the people around you are going to keep treating you the same, because it starts with you and what you will and will not put up with. So that person that you want a text from so badly, why are you settling for just a text message? Just to hear from them? Why are we setting the bar so low? Think bigger. Go to the end. What do you want? Do you want a relationship? Do you want more than that? Stop settling. Someone comes in and just says, hey, nothing else, and you have to keep the conversation going. Are you kidding me? That's not worth your time or energy. You got to let people show you that they're serious about you. Otherwise, they're not worth your time. They're throwing you off your path. It's not worth it. And then for some of you, if you're frustrated that someone hasn't come in yet, it's because they're not in the right energy yet. Would you like them to come in? Do you want them to come in half-assing it and then leaving again and leaving you confused? No. Your higher power of the universe is like, we're not going to let that happen until this person comes correct. And then you need to fix your mindset too, because you shouldn't be settling for a text message. It's so easy to get caught up in society and everyone around you getting married and having kids and having this expectation of what your life needs to be. It's so easy to fall into that. But also, You don't need to settle. Your timing is going to be different from people around you. That's okay. You need to understand that what's meant for you will never pass you by. You will have the love you desire, but you've got to find that within yourself first, because otherwise you're going to end up miserable. You're going to, I'm going to tell you the truth here. I'm being authentic here. I'm giving you the blunt truth. You will end up miserable if you settle years down the line. I've seen it one too many times. I've experienced it. It's not always in our hands. The timing isn't in our hands. You know, you could get anybody you want. Absolutely. You could get a boyfriend, a girlfriend today, tomorrow, because you're worthy of that. But like, that's not the point. It's someone that matches your energy, that adds to your life, isn't your whole life. You need to become an individual first. Find out who you are. Understand who you are. Be comfortable in your own energy on your own without needing the validation from someone else. That's when you attract in the love that is meant for you. And yeah, your specific person, but maybe someone even better. You can have the specific person you want. I'm telling you, I said it in one of my last episodes. I have had every single man that has fumbled me come back into my life at least once. Most of them, it was multiple times trying to come back in, because I took my power back and I stopped accepting less. But at that point, for my personal experience, I did not want those people back because I wasn't in alignment with them anymore, because they were still in the energy of not being able to give me what I wanted. So then I started attracting in better energy and better people, right? And even then, I don't really talk about my personal life, but like, I am so happy and content with who I am and where I am in my life right now. And I absolutely do not seek that validation outside of myself anymore. I stopped dating for a very long time. It gave me a headache. I stopped. And that's where I started to find myself. And again, I won't go into my personal stuff, but what I will say is, I've been there so many times. I've been there. I've sat there and cried, not understanding why a guy was like not giving me the time of day. Like, what was wrong with me? There was nothing wrong with me. What was wrong with me is I couldn't see how amazing I was. I was settling. I was lowering my standards because I just wanted attention and I wanted to feel validated, because I never had that before. I had the opposite. And I thought that I had to like perform to earn love, that I had to like be a certain way. I couldn't be myself to be loved. And then when I started being myself, I actually aligned with the right types of people in all areas. Being with someone shouldn't require a lesser version of you. Otherwise, they're not meant for you, or they need to rise to be to your energy. You don't need to settle ever in life with anything. Absolutely not. You're meant to enjoy life. You're meant to have the highest form of life that you can experience. Wouldn't you rather wait for the right person or wait for the right time instead of just rush something prematurely and then it falls apart because you're not even ready for it? Have you ever considered that? Are you ready? Are you the person you need to be to have that love, to have that commitment? Do you have the capacity emotionally? Are you going to be stable enough to like not read into every little thing this person does? If not, that's the inner work that needs to be done. You don't need to be fully healed to be in a relationship, because we're never fully healed. And also, it does come a time where you need to start actually learning and growing with someone else if that's what you want, right? Everyone has their own free will, and this is just my perspective. So you don't have to take all of this as fact. This is just what I've experienced and what I've channeled. But you have to be ready for that. Are you ready? Maybe you're not ready, because you're definitely not the person you need to be if you haven't attracted it in yet. You got to walk the walk. You got to be the version of yourself that has it. You've got to be content with who you are, where you are in life. And of course, you're always going to grow and you're always going to get better. But like, you need to be happy with who you are right now. You need to feel worthy of who you are right now, not the person you're going to be next year, the person you are right now. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and deem yourself worthy right now for existing, not when you're making this kind of money, not when you're this weight, not when you're, this famous, whatever. It's not when, it's now. The present moment is the now. That's where you have the power. That's why people say you can manifest instantly. Your manifestation is instant, is because it's only the present moment. Where people get tripped up is they think way too far in the future. Focus on becoming the version of yourself that already has it. Okay, you want a text message? Be the person who just got a text message from that person right now. And don't make it this big thing in your head, because it's not. It's small. That is like baseline effort. The bar is like in the gutter if you're just waiting for a text. Like, a text message is nothing. A text message comes easily because that's like nothing. That's like least on your radar. So texting is very easy to manifest. If you're having a hard time, it's because you're placing too much value on it. You're putting the text message on a pedestal. When in reality, you deserve someone to come show up at your door, say be ready at 8, planning days in advance and taking you out to a beautiful place. And I'm not saying this person needs to take you to like a steak dinner. I'm saying like someone who just is showing up authentically and like proving that they want you. They're making an effort. They're actually getting to know you. They're actually like thinking about the things that you like and the things you've told them. You know, maybe you say that you love watching the sunset. They take you to watch the sunset. I'm not saying these people have to spend a bunch of money. Like, you know, it's whatever you feel like is right for you. Placing your value and your worth in someone or something else is not going to make you happy and is not going to fulfill you. And you're going to constantly feel like you're chasing something that you can never have because it's such a mind fuck. You don't need to try harder to get someone to be with you. You need to put more energy into yourself. You need to start prioritizing yourself. You need to start taking care of yourself and putting your needs first. Because if they're not considering your feelings, if they're not considering your needs, they don't deserve your energy and your worry. Like if someone's not messaging you back, if someone's not checking in on you, if someone's not like constantly in your life and being consistent, then pull back. And if they're meant to be in your life and if they're going to show the effort, they will by you pulling back and not obsessing and giving it energy. And another thing, biggest piece of advice I can give you, stay off, not like don't be on social media, just stay off their social media. Stop stalking their account. Stop stalking their followers. Stop trying to figure out if they're dating someone else. Stop doing that. If you want any peace in your life, stop. Because especially if you're manifesting someone, you do not want to be looking at that. It's going to throw you all the way south. I understand we're human, we're curious, we want to know, but that's also just assuming you don't have it. It's going to drive you nuts, you know? And if you want to have any peace of mind, just leave it up to imagination. Just live in your own world. Focus on your life and what you have going on. If they're willing to miss out on you, that's their biggest fumble. That is their biggest fumble. They're missing out. It is going to affect them. It is affecting them because you bring the light, you bring the sauce, you bring the spice. You're irreplaceable. You're unlike anyone else. They will never be able to find another you. Ever, ever. And so for most of you that are seeing this, if you're wanting someone that you're currently talking to or it's an ex or whatever, I'm not going to say don't do that. Don't want that. But what I am going to say is you've got to prioritize yourself and you've got to understand you're the prize, not them. Kick them off the pedestal. This is your reality. It starts with you. It starts with the way you view yourself in the situation. It starts with you not accepting less. Stop accepting less. Pull your energy back for like a day. Try it. Don't view their stories. Don't view their social media. Don't reach out. Literally pull back. See what changes. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It'll feel weird at first, and maybe it's going to make you feel out of control, but that's the point. That shows you that there's work that needs to be done. You don't have control over someone else. You have control over yourself and the way you show up and the way you assume things to be true, and that's where it shifts. When you prioritize your peace, you focus on the things you love, you focus on the things you do have, you start to enjoy your life, you enjoy your own company, you know you're the prize, you don't chase, you allow, things will shift. I've seen it in my own life. Every single time I've done that, I've gotten what I wanted. Every single time. And I'm telling you, there is not one person or one situation that I was manifesting that I didn't get. I just chose otherwise. I chose something else. That was my own decision. I had the option to take these people back, and I didn't. Everyone's different, but you will get what you want. You just have to be centered in yourself, centered in the fact that what's meant for you will literally never pass you by. If you've decided you want something, you can have it as long as you've got the good intentions and it's for your highest good. And you've just got to sit and like believe that to be true. Like believe that you can have what you want, believe that it's possible for you, and believe that like it will happen in the right timing and you can't force that. I hope this made sense. I'm going to stop there. I feel like that it kind of felt like that was all over the place because I was just really getting my thoughts out, but that's just something that's been top of mind is like obviously take what resonates. If something in this helped you, I'm very happy because that's why I make these. You don't have to resonate with everything I said, but hopefully something in here helped you reclaim your power, because that's what this is all about, is reclaiming your power. It has nothing to do with anyone or anything outside of you. It has to do with you. And that is the missing piece. That is like the golden ticket to everything you want, is realizing it's within you. It was never outside of you. We're sold some narrative that we've got to go chase all these things outside ourselves. We've got to do all these things to like receive. But no, the whole point is we've got to become the version of ourselves that has those things. So we're working on ourselves. We're not trying to change the outside reality. We're changing ourselves, and then the outside follows suit. So please let me know if this was helpful. Please let me know if there's anything you want me to touch on specifically when it comes to this topic, or anything else that you've been wanting to know about. I'm open to suggestions, and I really enjoy making these episodes because I really like getting my thoughts out, and just talking and having like a conversation with you guys, and kind of like talking about my own experience too, in little bits and pieces in there. Because again, I want you guys to know, like, I say this all the time, but like, I'm not just saying things. Like, I've actually like gone through these things. And so I want to be able to use my experience to provide guidance or perspective for someone else if it is at all helpful. So, anyways, I love you guys. Remember that you have so much more power than you realize. This is your freaking reality. Put your big girl, big guy pants on, put them on, take your power back. Stop giving power to the things that you don't have control over, and start giving your power to the things you do have control over, because that's where it all shifts. I love you. Keep going. And you are so worthy of all of your heart's desires.